Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure. Yes, I think so. I have a bit of noise behind me because I have the air conditioner here. So I'm sorry. It's hot here. So now, great. Hello everyone. Hello Sebus. Hello JFMG. You were the first one to be here waiting for the streaming. Congratulations. You want a clap for you. So I'm very excited, and I have to thank Scorpion81, which is here with us tonight, for this streaming, for this live streaming, because he helped me. Well, he did all the work to implement one amazing feature that is waiting amongst all the code that Blender has waiting for it to be implemented. And it's a marvelous piece of code that if you work with rendering, if you work with cycles, you're going to enjoy it. Like, I don't know how to say it, like, a lot, but a lot. Your mind is going to explode. It's going to poof. Yeah, that's what your mind is going to do when you see the feature. So, from Mateo, okay. So your mind is going to blow out. It's just that. But first, with this build that you cannot download this build yet. Sorry, I will upload the Windows version just after this streaming. So don't worry, you're going to be able to download this after this streaming for Windows. But for Linux, Sebos 3D, I'm thinking of you. You're going to have to wait like maybe a few hours, maybe a day. I'm not sure. It all depends on Scorpion81 uploading a small fix that we had to do to have it to build in Linux. No, it's not the denoising. It's not the denoising. Oh my god. We had the Intel denoiser in our build since ages. In the Theory Studios build and our Bone Studio build, we had the Intel denoiser since ages. It's just that it got implemented in master already, but we have the denoiser since, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, I'm not sure. No, it's not like cutting, it's not biased rendering, it's something pretty cool that we missed a lot from Corona Render and from other render engines, and I'm so excited that we got this. Maybe you see the feature and you think, what are you talking about? This is something silly. But no, I think you're gonna love it. But first, in this build, we got back our OpenVDB mesher and our remesher. And I want to show you this first. It's similar to our previous one, but we recovered the ability to mesh particles. And we got one cool thing in this remesher. Let me show you. So I'm going to disable the particles for now. And I'm not going to read any more in the chat until I decide to show you the feature. But let me show you the remesher, the OpenVDB remesher features first. So we have this Susan, okay, and we have this sphere. I can do this sphere smaller. Let me apply scale, that's okay. Okay, your camera image on, of course, because my face is more important than Blender, right? Okay, sorry. Now you should see what is really important. So we have Susan, we have this sphere, nothing important here. And we can enable the remesher. Okay, so we go to remesh, and we have our mode. It's sharp right now. We are going to change. We have 2 modes. You already should know those 2 modes from previous live streamings. It's Medable and Voxel. Medable works very good with particles, and it supports motion blur. Voxel don't support motion blur for the time being. It's similar to the actual. I don't think we have in this build. No, in this build we don't have the yeah, it's similar to the remesh feature that was implemented in the latest daily builds for 2.81, because with this we can go here and we can do, okay, 0.0.1, and this is prepared for a sculpt. Okay, this is like the C remesher or something like that, but with OpenVDB. But it's not that, it's similar in a way that it works with OpenVDB. We can pick mesh, and then we have our remesh of this object. We can give it more resolution, for example that, for example 0.02, for example, and we get this. We can get more detail if we need it to 0.01 or 0.005, 0.005, and it doesn't work with 0.005 because he don't love me. 0.007, it's okay. We check the mesh, we get this super dense mesh, but one of the cool things of this is that this is this can be adaptive. Oh my god, this has adaptivity, so we can enable adaptivity to 1, for example, and while we see that we get a much lower resolution mesh, we should get, let's smooth normals, 1 is too much, but if we go to 0.2, for example, we should get a similar result than without adaptivity. But if you check the number here, we have now like 700,000 polygons, more or less. So we can enable 0.1 of adaptivity, and then it goes to 100,000. So pretty cool. And it's just 0.1 adaptivity, 0.05 even, it's 200,000. So we get way less mesh, way less triangles with adaptivity enabled. But that's not the coolest thing, because we had this already before. So let's go to 0.02, that's okay. Let me read. Please move your little window to the side, but there is nothing under my camera. Let me do one small trick. So this way you won't miss anything. Okay, text editor. That's it. This way you won't miss anything. So I can do this smaller. Okay, so there is nothing here. Okay, we get this, and we got the CSG operands. What are CSG operands? CSG operands are like booleans, but with OpenVDB. They are like volumetric booleans. For example, let me drink a bit. Hello, Seth Martin. Hello, Mark Lidon. And hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay, so we can enable a CSG operand, and we are going to get the sphere. Okay, we get the sphere, and suddenly we have this extra geometry in our object. We can change this sphere to bounce, so we can work with it. We have this extra geometry, but what does this mean? That we can move this sphere, and this is going to be fused. Okay, it's going to be fused with the geometry. Okay, now we can change the operand from union to difference, and then we are doing a whole. That's cool. If we do it big, we remove part. That's pretty cool. Like this. Okay, so we have a whole, but now we can enable one cool thing in union. I'm going to use it in union. We can enable one cool thing. It's like a small toy. It's like the first step towards the idea of volumetric sculpt. It's not a sculpt, okay? It's nothing similar to a sculpt, but it's like a small toy that is pretty cool. We can enable accumulate, and then we can move our sphere, and we get this. Ah! What do you think about this? It's pretty cool. Like we can draw with the sphere. If we want to reset this, we just need to disable accumulate. We can change this to difference. I'm not sure what's going to happen if I change this to difference. Okay, it deletes. So I imagine that if I move this, let's move in diagonal. Oh, we are deleting part of the mess completely live. So it's pretty cool. We can make a hole in Suzanne. It's pretty cool. Now that I think about this hole, what if we do a cannonball going through Suzanne? Just to test this. It's pretty cool. I really like this small feature. Congratulations, Scorpion81, because you are doing such an amazing work with this. His name is, by the way, Martin Felke, and he is the author of Fracture Modifier Branch. So let's try an animation. Let's put this here, and let's say in 20 frames, we want this to be on the other side. Everything linear. So we have this, and as you can see, this is animatable, or whatever word is in English. You can animate it, and it's pretty cool. What happens if we accumulate this? Oh, it's a bullet through Suzanne! It's awesome. It's really awesome. I'm having so much fun with this. It's really awesome. So now, it's pretty cool. What more do we have here? So with this OpenVDB remesher, we can also remesh particles. So let's test this. I'm going to remove Suzanne, and I'm going to remove this sphere, and I'm going to do a small SPH simulation. So if you don't know how to do SPH simulations, you can follow this tutorial, but I'm going to be fast. So if you want to follow it fast, or pause the video later. So let's go here, let's enable collision. We are going to give some damping to the floor, some randomization, some friction, and some randomization. That's okay. Let's enable particles in this sphere. So they fall, but they are right now, they are not fluid. So we are going to physics. From Newtonian, we are going to change to fluid. And in fluid, one very important thing is to change the integration from midpoint to Verlet. This is the optimal one for, at least based on my test. My test is the most stable one. So we enable subframes, adaptive subframes. It will use different subframes. Let's put 4 subframes by default, but it will be adaptive with the threshold. And then if we press play, we get some SPH simulation. Okay, let's limit this to 200 frames. If you have questions, ask away in the chat. No problem with that. And this is okay. And let's reduce the size of the particles. Of course, no render particles. Viewport display as points, and we go to 0.02. That's okay. And velocity, we don't want normal velocity, but we want -2 in Z, so it falls. Okay, that's cool. Let's add a lot more particles. They need to be a bit smaller, so let's reduce to 0.005. Okay, to 0.01. Great. Now let's change a bit the behavior. I think they were okay with 0.02. Let's modify the behavior. Let's give we have here fluid interaction, no. Advanced. Let's reduce the repulsion factor to 0.5, I think it was the core one. Yeah, that's okay. Let's increase the viscosity to 8, for example, and the stiffness to 0.5. So here we have much bigger. Let's increase this to 0.2, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Not 2, but 0.2. Okay, so we have like a fluid simulation going on, and now we want to mesh. So let's go to let's cast this first, for the sake of checking the modifier performance. Is this separate branch or will be in 2.81? So this will be in 2.81. I don't know. I hope so. Scorpion is doing this to be implemented in 2.80x at some point. I hope this could enter in 2.81, but I'm not sure. Scorpion81 knows better. But I think at some point this will reach 2.81. But this is going to be in our branch, in our Bone Studio branch, that you can download in Graphical. So we have this here, we can playback. It's great. Now we go to modifier, we add the remesh modifier, and you can see that we have nothing here. We can change this to voxel and to particles. And then we have to pick the minimal radius and the scale factor to 1. And the minimal radius to 0.2. And you can see that we have some small like voxels being created here. We have to give the voxelizer more resolution. So 0.02, for example, we get this. Let's scale this a bit more. And we need more particles, I think. I should work with your ranch now. Yeah, it's pretty. Our ranch is pretty amazing. It has some cool features. Not too many, but some cool features. So let's increase the amount of particles because I don't think we have enough particles. So let's increase this to 3000, and I don't think we need like 200 frames. Let's give just 50 frames. Let's bake it. And of course we got this, so we have to reduce the size. We have to reduce the size. Where's the size? Where's that? Here. 0.007. The repulsion factor, let's leave this at 1. 0.1. Interaction radius, of course, interaction radius. Now we got what we want, what we need. Okay, so let's increase the interaction radius a bit. So 0.5. I just want to avoid it exploding. 0.5, I said. Okay, that's much better. Repulsion factor 0.3. Much better. And we can go to end and press 15. Let's see if this explodes or not. Let me save this. Where do I want to save this? In live streaming. Here. Fine. Okay. So it's exploding like a bit. Let me reduce the interaction radius to 0.25. And that's way better. Now we can bake. Let's wait for the bake. Oh, this crashed. Hello, why did you crash? It's a small tool I have in the tablet to control the streaming, and it crashed. I don't know why. Yeah, now it works. So it's baked. Great. We have a fluid here. Awesome. So let's enable the remesher. Let's hide the particles from the view. We don't need to see them. We go to the remesher. We have minimal radius 0.05, 0.02, and 0.00. Okay, because I have it disabled. If you disable the modifier, it's not going to work. Blender 101. Disable the modifier, it doesn't work. Blender 102. Enable the modifier with too high settings, and it will take a while. So it took a while because of this. Let's reduce 0.05, for example, and this is much better. Scale factor, let's leave it at 1.02 now. I think we need more particles, but for this I'm going to leave it that way. So if we get this, but we need like to smooth the surface, right? Because right now they're just spheres. Let's check one thing. Yeah, they are just like spheres, and we don't want like spheres. So you have the filters. So we can go and use the, for example, the, I don't know, the mean. I have not tested every filter. And you can see, let's disable the wireframe. We can increase this. And it's going to smooth the surface out. If you change this, you are going to get different results. But right now the problem is that we need more particles. That's why we get this, because if I reduce the scale factor that will scale the particles, we go to 1, we get very few particles. So if we increase this, we are going to get particles, but it's going to be like spheres, and we don't want that. So we need more particles. And I don't want to be 3 hours with this. So we have this, and we can check what's the speed of the remesher. It's not bad. 3 frames per second. 3 frames per second, guys. It's not bad. It's between fluids and metals. No, it's not between fluids and metals. It's something completely different. It's just OpenVDB. It's converting the particles to volume, and that volume is generating a mesh that is being shown here. So it's just a volume being converted to a mesh. So it's not metals. In fact, we have the metal remesher here for particles. We can decrease this, the threshold of the wire size. We can decrease the wire size to 0.1, and maybe it's too high. The metal remesher is a bit slower, but it's pretty cool too, and it has motion blur. Or it supports motion blur, something that the OpenVDB remesher don't support motion blur yet. And it's slow, because I put a too high parameter here. Okay. Let me open another Blender. Here we are. That's okay. Let me put this so I don't hide any parameters. Okay, text editor here, and that's it. So what's the other feature? Let me check if the remesher ended. No, it has not ended. What's the other feature? The other feature is a pretty cool one. you saw a picture in the splash, right? You saw this picture in the splash. And this picture is a scene that I don't remember the name of the artist that made it. It's in the Blender cloud, so I can put the link below. Inside the art gallery, and Mitch Mantissa Sinave is the author. Mitch Mantissa is the author, and it's the picture that was used to promote Blender 2.80 release. But as you can see, it's quite different because it's not the same lighting, it's not the same picture, it's just the same scene. I use this scene to show you this. So let's open the scene, and I have this one. Takes a while. Okay, here we have this scene. Let me render with lower settings. Let's render with, well, just 50% and with just 200 samples. I don't care about the noise. I just care about showing you the coolest thing that we have now. So we have this GPU compute. Okay, it can be GPU compute, but with the CPU, please. 16 by 16, it's okay. So let's render this. Does eCycle support multiple GPU rendering? As far as I know, yes. eCycle support multiple GPU rendering. eCycles is just cycles, normal standard cycles, but with some improvements made by Mathieu, by Blibli. Some cool improvement for GPU rendering. So it's faster because of that. Okay, as you can see, this scene is nothing similar to the picture I saw with you before, right? It's not the same. It's not the same lighting. Where are the lights? Where are the lights? I don't know where are the lights. Let me check this scene. Oh no, this scene is broken, sorry. Where are the lights? Well, the lights are not there. This scene was broken. I have the good one here. This is broken too. Why is this broken? Let me check the blend one. I don't know why is this happening. Yeah, Adrian. Yes. Yes, Adrian. This is the feature. Okay, the scene is broken, but I'm going to recreate it. It's not too much. I don't know what happened because we have here some things. Okay. This is the setup. Yeah, setup Raruna, I know. I don't know why it is not working. Why is the scene broken? Because it should not be broken at all. Let me check with call just in case, but it's broken. I don't know why. I don't have my lights. That's the problem. I don't have my lights. I don't know if this is a bug we have here. Okay, let's go ahead with whatever, because let's try the ready, but the size is the same, so I don't know if these are correct. No, and the ready standard ready is not correct too either. I mean, okay, my lights are broken, so I cannot reproduce the exact picture we had here. sorry, but I can show you the feature. So let's go here and let's create some lights. We can enable, of course, and let me show the camera. So this here, I think something is wrong with this scene. It may be the scene, just the scene, but I don't care. To show you this is not a problem. So let's disable the environment lighting and let's disable the sun, because there was a sun here. I don't know where the sun is, but there was a sun. But it seems all my lights are deleted. Why? I don't know why. If I try to append the lights, let me try this. Objects, collection. No, they are not here. Oh, here are my lights. In object, there are my lights in object. Yes, they are here. At least we can append them. Okay. They should be here, they should be working. Okay, they are working. Let me append the other lights. So let's append, there are 2 area lights and also 1 sun, 1 direct. It's a feature, it's not a bug. It's not a bug, it's the scene. I had this problem with this scene before. I thought tangent animation were working on that. Yes, tangent animation was working on light groups. And I know that because this patch is available for anyone to be applied to your branch, because it's just a patch made by Lucas Stockner. You have to deal with the meaning of applying a patch to the code, but it works flawlessly. Sorry for the delay to show you this, but something is broken with this scene, not with the build, but with the scene. It's just like when you save it and you load it, it doesn't show every light you have, something similar. Let's check this. Okay, this finished. Let's put 0.3, for example. It should be faster. Why is this delaying so much to append the lights? Because I had the render on, maybe. I know, because it crashed. This also happens with the latest daily builds of 2.81, so. Let me. I don't have a direct link for the field. So let's open this again. And let's open the one that was ready. And if the lights are not there, I don't care. I don't care at all. I will append them. There are no lights, so let's append the lights. From the same scene, which is what is funny, because I'm going to use the ready to, or this one, in object. Let's open all the point lights. In the console there were odds, library user controllers made. It's not with the merge. I think there is something weird. I have to check this, but it's not with the merge. I will check this later. Let's open also the area light. Or is it crashing? No, okay. And let's open also the sun. We should have the groups created for the lights. Now we have all those lights, and we have to organize these lights in groups. So in collections, to be honest. So here we have this. These are going to go to L1. Okay, the lights here, we have here and we have here, and I think that's it. Yes, that's it. They are going to go to L02, and the lights here are going to L03, and then we go here. We are moving to L04. One limitation that this feature has for the time being is that it only supports up to 8 lighting groups, just 8 lighting groups. So we are going to pick these area lights to B01 and this area light to B02. Now we need the sun. We are going to move the sun to sun, and we are going to create a new collection just for the environment. We can create a new collection for the environment to have it separated from all the other lights, or we can enable the environment in any of the light passes. But in this case, I want to create a new collection that is going to be, and we just need to have a collection. It can be empty, and we have one more light, that is the one here, and L05, and this is not going to work. The L05 is not going to work. Why? Because we have more than 8 groups. But just to show you, so we go to the pass part, and we have here light groups. Okay, we can close all this, and it's simple. We got the sun. I created this group before. We got the sun, so we pick the sun collection. We got the environment, so we pick the environment collection. Light 1 is L01, light 2 L02, light 3 L03, light 4 L04. Like bottom is it was how it was bottom, that's it, B01 and B02. And for the environment and light alone, it's going to be light 05. And for the environment, we have to go to the environment group and enable include world, that it was enabled for me. Also, we can see, oh my god, you can see the panel because I opened this. I should have like the interface already prepared for this. Let's save this scene, even if it's broken, it's broken. So what I said is that we have the groups here. I created the groups, and we have to assign a collection to each group. Okay, so we have each group with its collection. If we run the environment in any of these groups, we just have to enable the include world. In this case, include world is enabled in the environment collection. Let me drink. So we are 14 minutes. We are pretty good today. Okay, so we have this pass, this render pass with all these light groups. And now we can go to the settings. Let's put this to 200, just 200 to be fast. And I have my standard settings here. For the time being, this doesn't work too well with adaptive sampling. So I'm going to disable adaptive sampling because I will show you later the problem. But this doesn't work well with adaptive sampling. So we have here all this, that's okay. So we go to the camera. Let's put 50% resolution. And 16 by 16 is okay. And we can render. Let's render. Do you know if MantaFlow branch will be in 2.81? Yes, I know it will be in 2.81 at some point. I'm not sure if Sebas updated it already or not, but I asked him to do it, and I'm sure he will do it as soon as he has some time. So yes, it will be at 2.81 at some point. Ah no, of course. Sorry, you mean if it will be implemented in 2.81 release. No, it won't. Not that I know. I'm not sure, but not that I know. I think it won't be in 2.81 release. Sorry for that. I mean that we will have Mountainflow branch based on 2.81 code. So we have this here, okay? And this is just our scene with all the lights, with the power the lights want to have. That's it. But if we go here to view layer, we have all our groups as passes. And if we go through the passes, we have the sun, we have the environment, we have this group of lights, 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 and the final one, the alone, that does not work because we have more than 8 light groups. So if we go to compositing, this didn't save either. Wait for this. Okay, I'm going to do it manually anyways. So if we go to compositing, we got our image, but we can start creating our own compositing. So we are going to pick a mix RGB, and I'm going to create a node that many of you may know and many of you may not know, that is the exposure node. How can I work with the exposure in the Blender compositor? It's pretty easy. We just need a mix node and a math node. We put the math node to power the value, this value, the first value to 2 and this to 1. We connect this to this and we multiply this. That's it. Now we create a group with these two, and the first input is going to be the picture and the second value of the math node, and we output this, and this is the exposure node. With this you have exposure, so we can rename this to exposure, and this is our exposure. So we can connect this to the sun, and as you can see, we can increase the exposure or reduce the exposure of the sun. Something is weird in my maths because it should go to 0. So go to, let me check, power of 2, after 1, clamp. Well, I don't care. I can control the exposure, even when the value right now is not correct. So I put this exposure for the environment, and I create this exposure for the light 1, light 2, light 3, light 4, bottom 2. So light 2, light 3, I don't know why it's ordered that way, light 4, and light bottom 1, light bottom 2, and I'm not going to connect the alone because, you know, it doesn't work. So now we just have to sum up all the lights. So we go here, we put this in add, and we sum up all the lights. We sum this to this, and this to this, and this to this one, the first image to the second image, to the first image to the second image. By the way, this what I'm doing is thanks to the node wrangler. And this to the first image and to the second image. And now we have just the render picture. Okay, it's just the render result, nothing more. So we can connect this render result to one cool thing that we have now, that is the noiser. But for that we need the albedo. So usually we used to use the noising data, but Pablo used the normal. It's not enabled. Okay, so we are going to need to re-render this, so I'm not going to use the noiser. I'm just going to connect this to the first input of the image, and now we have our composited picture. But now we can reduce this -5, I think. Yeah, -5. We can reduce everything, so we can turn off any light in our scene. It's -5 because my exposure is at 5, I think. Okay, it's not -5, -10. We can of course connect a value node here. So for example, let me enable OpenCL rule to work. Okay, and let's create a value here just for the standard light groups. No, not that. Sorry. Okay, slow undo. Let's put this here. And let's put this. This is the 3. It goes here. And the 4. It goes here. And the 2. So now we can control our lighting with just one value. And of course we can animate this. So even if we have an animation, we can just render the animation with all the lights and play with the lights later. So we can turn off lights, turn on lights within the animation with no trouble. And no matter if there are characters or there whatever, no matter, as long as you just want to turn to play with the power of the lights, it's pretty cool. And Bone Studio said, "Let there be light." Yeah. Are planning to put this into master. Are planning to put him on a master degree. Who? Him on a master degree? Who is going to university? Can someone tell me what Juan is doing today? It seems something to do with light collections. Yes, we just put each light in a different collection. Okay. We just put each light group in a different collection, and then with the new feature we have in the passes, that are the light groups, we created a group. Are you seeing this? No, you are not seeing this because of my interface again. I hate this. Okay. So we created a group and we enable for each group each collection of lights. So this gave us different passes in the view layer, and we have each light as a separate layer, so we can play with each light in compositing. So now we have this, and now we can start the light here. So we go to 5, for example. No, 5 is too much. To 1 or to -2. That's it. And now we can lead this part here to -2, 2, or to -1, or even 0. No, -3. But that's not the coolest thing. The coolest thing is that, what if I want to color the light? Well, I can color the light. That's not a problem. So, for example, I'm going to control this light alone. I don't need to control this light alone. It's just that I want to be sure what is this light. And we just have to let's mix this light, multiply it, and let's pour blue. And now we have blue light. We can control how much blue we want the light, and we can connect the power again. So now let's do this light. Okay, this one. Let's do this light red. So we can go here, and we can do this light red. You can see that we can play a lot with the lighting, with the mood of the scene, without rendering this. There are plans to put this in master. Yes, there are plans to put this in 2.81. In fact, this is in the official list of things to be reviewed and implemented. I'll show you this list. There are many cool things coming to Blender. If not in 2.81, after 2.81, you can go to developer.blender.org and go to render and cycles. And here you can see a pretty neat list with things like the OpenVDB the noise node is already implemented, so it's crossed. But this patch is this one. Implement render passes that contain all lighting from lights in a specific group. So this is the patch we've implemented. There's another interesting patch that we want to investigate, that's add support for adding custom IOV render passes. It seems that it can give you the power to render a shader to a specific IOV, so like a separated object. It seems cool, but I don't fully understand this. Also, there are tags for adaptive subdivision, for some feature overrides, for array and shader counter. There are many things. Networking support for cycles. I think this is like crowd render, but just implemented in cycles. So this technique feature gives us better control over lights in particular area. Not in a particular area, but it gives you control over the lights itself. So I'm going to repeat this scene, but in a simple setup, a more simple setup. Let me finish this. We are going to give the, what is this? I know this was okay that way. And let's put a bit of environment. This is no, this is not the environment, this is the sun. We don't want the sun. We want -1, -3, -3, -2. It's okay. So you can play with the lighting in your scene after the render is done. And this is a big thing, because for super good, how you change the color of lights in different places, the render with compo. That is what I was showing. I'm going to show this setup in a simpler scene. But the power of this is that you can just render this. This is like Cryptomat. Yes, it's something like Cryptomat. You can just render your scene, and afterwards in Compositing you can adjust the power of each light group and the color or tint of each light group. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. So let's save this scene and let's create a new scene. Plane, okay. Let's center a plane. And let's create a Suzanne. And let's create the mask for the camera so you don't lose anything. Okay, this again. So let's create Suzanne. We are near the 1 hour mark. I want to finish at 1 hour. So we have Suzanne here, and we can create 2 lights. Let's create an area light. Okay. I don't like that. Okay, that's okay. We can create it in render. And let's duplicate this. So we have 2 area lights, okay. And let's put this to 200 or even like a bit burn. So we have enough light. We can put this here. Okay, so we have 2 lights, and now we are going to put each light in a different group, or in a different collection, sorry. So light 1 is my collection for the first light, and light 2 is my collection for the second light, okay? So we have 3 sources of light in the scene. The first one is the environment, the world, that is gray. The second one is the first light, and the third one is the second light. So now we go to render passes. I'm waiting for the Spanish version. Yeah, okay. I will do the Spanish version too. We go to the passes, and we have here light groups. So we create a group. This is the first group, group 1, for example. And here I want to have my environment. But to have my environment, since I don't have any light with the environment, I have to create a collection. This collection is going to be empty. We don't need this collection to have to contain anything. It's just an empty collection to indicate that we have in this pass the world. Now we have the light group 1 where we want our light 1, and the light group 2 where we want our light 2, light group 001, don't care. Let's save the scene to test2, that's it. Now we go to the render settings, path tracing, yeah, okay, 200 samples, Scrum is 2.1, did it Sobol, and that's okay. In performance, 16 by 16, and in light paths, I'm going to leave this that way. I don't care. This to 90 because I use 90 for that, and that's okay. So we can render this. It's going to be fast. I don't care. Okay, of course, the camera. We need a camera. This is our camera. Okay, this is our camera. And we can show the lights. I think we can show the lights. Okay, that's fine. And here we have our Susan render, right? We have one light here, and the environment. Now, oh, the normal diffuse passes. Yes, but for this render, I don't need the analyzer. And now, if you go to the passes, we can see that we have light group 1, that is the environment light. Light group 2, let me put this here, is one of the lights, and light group 3 is the other light. So we just have to go to Compositing, use nodes, and let me create here a render view. So we have here a render result. We should have the viewer now, that's it. So this is our compositing. Now we are going to use a mix and mix the light group 1. The mix has to be an add because we want to add the layers of light. And if we check this, we get the environment with the right light. Now we add another add, sorry, to the image, and we add the second light group. This uses EXR multipass file format. No, it's just like another pass in Blender. You can save it to EXR, like as a multipass, or you can save it as separate passes. It's just like any other pass in Blender. So we have this, okay, we have our lights. It's total control of light for compositing, exactly. Now we can create our exposure node that I don't know why it was not working correctly. Maybe I made a mistake while creating it. Now the clap to power 2, 1. This has to go here. Multiply. And let's create the group. The image is going to be the first, this value the second, and this is the output. That's it, and I can put an exposure here. And I can put an exposure here, and I can put an exposure here. So if we want to turn off the environment, just we lower the environment. If we want to turn off one of the light, just we turn off one of the lights. If we want to give some power to the light but very little power, we can do that. So we can control our lighting in compositing. This is a really powerful feature because, for example, for an artist animation, we can have several lights that are turned off, they are off, and during the animation they can turn on. We can have the sky to be completely like dark night sky, and then the light comes on. And this is not going to take more render time, but because we can do this in compositing. This is something standard in Corona render. I think Virbai also has this. I think Arnold has this. I'm not sure what renders has this, but many renders has this, and this is a very important feature to be able to control the light in Compositing. So now we can put the denoiser if you want, without any kind of input, because we don't have noise, so we don't need the denoiser. We can enable this, and we can burn out the scene with the sky, and that's it. Okay, so it's like groups exactly like in Lux Render and like in Maxwell, like in many other renderings. So this is a pretty exciting feature. I'm going to upload the Windows build. I'm going to check first if there is a bug with 70 scenes. I don't think so, but just in case, I want to check this because I see some errors here. So there may be an error. So I want to check if the build does not have any kind of bug. I will upload the Windows build, and tomorrow we'll have the code in the GitHub for you to be able to do the Linux build. So that's it. Remember that tomorrow we have our news live streaming in Spanish, and we have our news live streaming in English too. I will have 2 live streaming, one in Spanish, one in English, with news in the 3G industry. So remember that, and share that and tell your friends, because this is not those streamings are not just for Blender users. Those streamings are for general users from 3ds Max, Maya, Cinema 4D, Modo, Houdini, whatever you want, as long as you are interested in the 3G CG industry news. So remember to share, to subscribe, to tick the little bell, and to like the video if you liked it. See you in the next live stream. Bye guys, thanks.